force into it if you've got any chance of scoring from there. Well, here comes a substitution for the away team.
Long-range effort.
Going for power from long range. And what a shot! What a goal! Well, that's terrific play for the goal.
They've got too many players with vision out there for the opposition. Already shaping up to shoot and thinking, no, pass, don't be silly. The keeper might have been thinking that as well because he's caught him by surprise. What a strike.
There's going to be two changes here. The manager deciding to make quite a drastic...
Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today I have a new episode of my Club Squad Builder series. Actually, it's going to be an update because the first episode of the Spurs video went down so well and a lot of you wanted to see more of the informs. So that's what I've done. I went and bought some of the informs and we're going to start off with the absolutely amazing inform Hugo Lloris. This guy is by far the best goalkeeper I have ever used. I couldn't even find good enough clips to explain why he's so good. He's just by far the best goalkeeper. If you can't afford this guy, even if you're not building a Spurs side, if you're getting a French side or a BPL side, definitely pick him up. You will see a massive difference. The right back is of course going to be Kyle Walker, no inform sadly this year. But he is just phenomenal. I actually had two really sweet goals, but the file corrupted, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. But you saw a nice little slide tackle there, and his overall play, along with his pace and his slide tackling, is absolutely amazing. The first centre back is going to be Team of the Year Vertonghen. And he is just an absolute tank as well. If you missed my last video, I speak a little more about him. I actually had him in a right mid position in my last squad builder. This one he's returned back to his natural centre back position, and that saw a lot more goals coming this way. Just because he's in the right positions for corners, etc. And he does score a lot of goals from corners. I'm only showing one because I don't want to bore you. And here's a very nice slide tackle. That's something he was very good at. His slide tackling is very high, his standing tackle is pretty good, his aggression's fantastic, his pace is good, and there you go, this is just a little stat there. He got a 9.9, and also if you look over, you actually see Kyle Walker got a 9.8 as well, so that's showing you that the players are playing well. And I actually played him, I think, in the other centre back position, yeah I did, and I had Kabul, of course. I had him over Dawson just pretty much because he is just so overpowered, and if you want the best of the best with the squad, you definitely have to pick Kabul there, and he's just overall fantastic. The left back is going to be Asu Aquata, and he is actually pretty damn good as well actually. His slide tackling etc is very good. I think he was in my last Spurs squad and I didn't show too much about him, but there you go, that was a nice little slide tackle. But I will be honest, I think I played 20 games with the squad, 10 games I played with him and 10 games I had with someone that was on the bench, but I'll speak about that later. I did have Vertonghen in the left back position, so you kind of guess who's going to replace Asu Aquata, but we'll talk about that later on. Then the first midfield player is actually going to be Holtby, and that's actually I think he's transferred from a centre attacking mid because he did cost me 6k, which is pretty damn high, and I've no idea where his good goal is, lads. I've only been able to chuck that one and I just can't find it. I must have accidentally deleted it because I'm making a lot of squads right now and I must have just lost the file. He scored an absolute screamer with me, but he did have a definite up and down factor. Sometimes he was fantastic, his passing is very good, either foot is fantastic, but just sometimes his finishing was just sometimes frustrating, and that sometimes really annoyed me. The next player is going to be Dembele, and everyone knows about him. I've had him a lot. I think I've had him with like 5 or 6 squads I've actually made, so I'm not going to show you any highlights because of course it's going to be sort of the same things again. The next midfield player is actually going to be Sigurdsson. I think that's the second inform, not the centre mid inform. I've actually picked the left inform, and he's actually done a mistake and moved his wall too much, but he's got fantastic shot power. I've used him before in my rarely used BPL squad, had him in left mid position. He was absolutely fantastic, so I had to pick him up again. His passing, his long range passing, you actually see this is a quick free kick, and look at that for a ball, absolutely amazing. Sadly the goalkeeper does pick it out, but he kicks it straight back to him, and everyone knows about Sigurdsson's long rangers with this second inform, and he just manages to finish it in there. I didn't score too many goals, I didn't score as many spectacular goals as I did when I had him in my rarely used squad, but he was more of a creator in his squads, and he was just overall brilliant. He's 6 foot odds, good for the midfield, good height, he's good strength, good passing ability, and of course that long range shot. And the next player is going to be, of course, Aaron Lennon. and he's going to play in the right forward formation. And I've saw a lot of people say he's not good at finishing, etc. He scored a lot of goals for me, and in 20 games he scored 8 goals, which is a not bad turnaround for a right forward, especially when you have someone in the left forward position taking all the goals. I think he's kind of know who that's going to be, but we'll speak about him a little bit later. Lennon is absolutely brilliant. I just love him. I can sort of get used to him just smashing it. He's good, very good at pace, good low centre of gravity, so that means he's quick acceleration. And the left forward, of course, going to be Team of the Season Bale, used once again, and he is just fantastic. I've had to cut so many good goals out because I don't. This video was originally, let me just check, I've got to wrote down, 16 minutes long. That's how long this video originally was. So I've cut it down to under 10 minutes. I'm hoping for like 8 minutes to 9 minutes because I don't want to bore you guys. And he just scored so many good goals. That reminded me of the goal he scored, I think it was against West Ham or something, when he just touches it and scores. But with either foot, he's fantastic, as I did say. If you want a more in-depth look about Bale, I'm not going to go and speak about all the stats, etc. again. So if you want more in-depth of the Team and Season Bale, go and check my last video out. It's the Team of the Season squad builder with Bale. I speak a lot more about his left foot, right foot, but this one I'm just sort of enjoying the goals. This was very fun because I had him in a left mid position and he did score 25 goals in 30 games, I believe it was. So now that I finished, I played 56 games and scored 56 goals. That's a no bad turnaround for him, and he's just left foot, right foot is just absolutely amazing. His right foot isn't that great for power, but definitely go ahead and check that last video if you want more information. His price is sort of the same, I believe. I got him for 1.5 million. I think I'll sell him for about 1.6, 1.7, because that's just sort of the way the market's going right now. I did transfer him over, so that's probably what I'm going to get. But just the quality of these goals, it never really scored a sweaty goal or a poor goal. It was just a lot like in real life, just always something out of nothing. If I was ever struggling in a game, I could just give it to Bale and just have a long range and hopefully it would go in. Just like the goal at the start, that was an absolutely insane goal, and that was just another very good one as well. Here's some nice play as well, just acceleration. I did say that he wasn't as quick as like Ronaldo or Lennon, and I still stand by that statement. He isn't that quick, but if you hold your L2, R2 button and just sort of zigzag, just sort of like what I did there, he's got good enough acceleration from the start. His sprint speed isn't that good, but his acceleration is very, very nice. The strikers, of course, going to be Informed Defoe. I did have man of the match added by on the last Spurs squad builder, so I went and used Informed Defoe just to be a little bit different. And he did not score a lot of goals for me. He scored, let me see, he scored 8 goals in 20 games, which is pretty disappointing for me. But he did score some nice goals. He's sort of the busybody, runs about, does some nice slide tackles. He did get a lot of assists for Bale, which was obviously nice for me, but I would have liked to see him score a lot more goals. He wasn't that great. His finishing, whether it's his finesse or his power shot, wasn't that good, and that sort of was frustrating sometimes, and I did sort of over-rely on Bale. A lot like in real life, his finishing isn't that great. Some of the sub-players you could sort of pick up as well as Chalker, and he's pretty decent as well. The next centre-back I'm going to speak about is Dawson, and this is sort of the way I played it, just sort of like real life. This is the sort of squad I had him in. Down there, just had him in the centre position. His position, his marking, his slide tackle is all very, very good. His pace isn't, of course, isn't anywhere near as fast as Vertonghen or Cavill, but as long as you don't need the pace, you'll be doing some nice work. The centre mid, I absolutely love that silver centre mid. I think he's fantastic. And Sandro, he played a lot of games for me. I believe that's his up card. He was very, very good. So if you need a centre defensive mid, definitely pick him up. I think that's. Yeah, that's all I did have in that squad. The next player, of course, Pazzini. So let's get into the speak about some of the stats now. The price of the squad was 1.9 million, just pretty much just because Team of Year Bale. Best player with Lloris, fantastic. I cannot speak highly enough about that goalkeeper. He's just so freaking good. Bale, left forward. Honourable mentions going to be Walker and Bertie. Pros, very quick, perfect for counter-attacks. Cons, pretty expensive squad. Overall verdict, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10, lads. If you can't afford it, definitely go ahead and buy it. As always, I've been CJ Novo92. Thank you for watching, bye-bye.